Hey friends, welcome to Chican Ranch. I'm Veronica, and today I wanted to share my recipe and my tips and tricks for making a 100% sourdough rye bread. When I first started making sourdough bread, my main goal was to make a 100% rye bread because my family loves it and it's so healthy for you, and overall it's just a really hearty and filling bread. We eat it with soups, we eat it with as a sweet way, like for breakfast you can have a little sandwich with like peanut butter and bananas and honey on it, and it's good both ways, both sweet and savory. Back in the day when I first started and I was trying to make a 100% rye sourdough bread, it would turn out not what I expected. It was very dense, it was very gummy, it was very hard, and not what I was hoping for. So I kind of gave up on that until I finally learned my white bread. I now feel confident and I can now make a really good 100% rye sourdough bread. So I'm really happy about that. It's not as hard. The number one thing that I recommend is having a mature starter. I think that's why my bread 5 years ago was not working out, because my sourdough starter was not mature. And we're going to make it in a bread loaf today. You can still make this recipe in a Dutch oven if you want to, but I just prefer my rye bread in a loaf pan because it's easier to cut really thin and to make like different sorts of sandwiches and snacks. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to start out with 385 grams of water, 12 grams of salt, 50 grams of honey, and then you're going to add 100 grams of sourdough starter. This starter was fed the day before in the morning, and it was standing on my counter all day. It has risen and then it fell, but I still want to show you that it's still floating, and so it's still active and ready to be used. You're going to need dark rye flour. I'm using Bob's Red Mill organic. Mix everything so it can be hydrated and well incorporated. Cover with a plastic and leave it for about 12 hours to ferment. I noticed that with rye bread, the fermentation time has to be longer. For instance, with the white bread, your fermentation can be completed in 4 hours, 6 hours, or 8 hours. But with rye bread, I've noticed that it's much better if it's about 12 to 18 hours. Okay, so this has been fermented for 12 hours, and then after that I put it into the fridge because it was 12 o'clock at night and I didn't want to deal with it and I didn't want to form it. So I put it into the fridge. It's now 10 a.m. I'm going to shape and form it. Add a little bit of flour on your counter. And let's get all of that out. Let's check the air bubbles in there. See how it looks? It's very sticky, but all of these air bubbles are a very good sign. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more flour on here. And then you just kind of work it. It's normal for it to be sticky, so you can use a little bit of flour. It's fine. Don't be afraid of flour either. and then gently just kind of fold it, shape it into the shape you want it. I put a little bit of coconut oil into the loaf pan so the bread won't stick to it. Add your formed bread into the loaf pan, and you can leave this on your counter for a few hours to proof, but I decided to bake right away. Showing you this ice right here. I add this ice in the oven underneath the bread pan. The ice will help create steam for the first 15 minutes or so. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and bake for about 40 minutes. Let it completely cool off or else it will be gummy. But look at the rise. I'm really happy with this rye bread. It looks good, it tastes good, it smells good. I hope you enjoy this video and I hope it helped you in some way. Thank you for watching. Bye.